Hey folks, so just thought I'd give you guys a little update. Plus, just try something different for once. I recently just picked up my pre-order collection of the World Eaters. And honestly, this is the first time I've ever bought Warhammer in bulk. And it's again, Warhammer's an expensive hobby. Okay, that's no secret. But seeing how I paid almost close to $400, and the box that I got felt like I got robbed. They wrote themselves a blank check. It just gave me whatever. But we're not gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about what's coming up. We're also gonna go over the pre-order collection and whether or not you should buy it. I don't even know it's still available, but if it's not, then you're just gonna my thoughts and opinions on the models and my thoughts on after just browsing the codex. So first thing we're gonna talk about is gonna be the 8-bound, because from what I've heard, 8-bound are going to be very popular in terms of how many there are going to be in the list, which again, they're not cheap. 3 models is $60. Yeah. And you can run the, again, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed in both myself, mostly myself, because the fact that I'm probably going to be buying more of these guys. I just know it. I could see in the foreseeable future that I'm going to be dealing out the cash just so I could get 2 more squads of these guys. Again, $120 for 6 models. I'm probably going to be running, at least 3 squads of these guys. Because again, they're supposed to be really good, which is how DW gets you. They make all the nice models, and they make them really good, so you buy them. And then in a month or so, they're probably going to FAQ them to hell and back, and they're not going to be better anymore. And you dished out $180, however much. I will not be surprised if I just see a board full of 8-bound, and I'll just look at them at the board, not in fear of what I'm going up against, in just astonishment of just how much these guys are. These are $20 per guy. It's crazy to think about. You could tell it boggles my mind. Honestly, this has been on my mind all day after I picked this up. Just seeing it in person, I'm like, yeah, this is I'm seriously considering buying a 3D printer at this point. At this point, it's something that's gonna have to happen. Now, I will say this: the 8-bound models look amazing. They look great, and I'm excited to paint them up because I actually try a little bit of community outreach, figure out what you guys want to see painted up, and 8-bound kind of clenched the lead, just to say the least. Models look great. Rules are broken. Okay, I'm just saying, with the blood tithe, it is going to be so easy to make them just busted. It comes really down to if you run them at Exalted 8-bound or just normal 8-bound, it's up to you. I feel like there's great benefits to both. With the normal 8-bound, you get the turn 1 deep strike, but with the Exalted 8-bound, you just get that little bit extra durability. But in terms of you lose that deep strike ability, or at least a turn 1, they kill deep strike. But I'm probably not going to be running them as that. And at the end of this video, I'm going to be asking you questions. Anyway, moving on. Again, I would say just looking at the 8-bound sculpts before I even paint them up, I would say I give this model 9 out of 10. It's a beautiful model. They're beautiful models. These are the quintessential World Eaters. Next up, we got the new Berserker kits. Now, as someone who's bought a embarrassing amount of the old Berserkers, I love the sculpts for the new Berserkers. They look so good, especially now that they're just true scale. Just the amount of options you have in terms of poses and different bits. I'm excited to get these guys painted up and put on the table. One thing I do want to say is, I don't know if Khorne Berserkers are going to be as popular. Because again, before the Codex came out, Warriors arms were 90% Berserkers. But now with the 8-bound and the Jackals, I feel like the 8-bound kind of do what the Berserkers do a little bit better. And with the Disciples of Angron little sub-faction inside the Codex, I feel like we're just going to be seeing a lot of just demon-esque armies. Just 8-bound running with Bloodthirsters because, A, Bloodthirsters are cheaper and you can get them back, which is a big thing in terms of just getting more out of the plastic you're buying. And it's pretty standard, just $60 for 10 guys. So it's like not as outrageous as the 8 bound. Like I don't feel like I'm getting shafted as much for the price and how many models I get. But even then, they just like, again, I'm a big World Users fan, as you know. I'm kind of sad that a lot of the kit badges that I did are currently locked out, but here's the hoping. They're probably going to be expanding the codex a lot over like the next couple months, and there's going to be, new models, new rules, and a lot of the stuff that I can use or not able to use right now will probably be available later. But yeah, Berserker kits, I would say 10 out of 10. They knocked it out of the park with the sculpts. Like, they just look like how World Eaters should look. All right, next up we got the Lord Invocatus. So I have mixed feelings about Lord Invocatus because the main thing that you're going to be seeing in World Eaters list is going to be Aggron. And the fact that Aggron has to be your Warlord, I feel like kind of makes people probably not going to be taking Lord Invocatus over the normal Chaos Lord on Juggernaut. Because A, he needs to be your Warlord, or just pay a CP to make him your Warlord to get that pregame move, which, I mean, since we lost Apocalyptic Frenzy, that might be worth taking, especially if you're just trying to fling a horde of like a big 10-man blob of Berserkers. But at the same time, it's a little bit extra points. But if you really just want a fast-moving slaughterer, just a straight killer on the board, Lord Invocatus is definitely going to be that guy because he ignores invulns in melee, which is a big thing. We don't have a lot of that. We have access to more mortal wounds now, which is amazing. But at the same time, just being able to just, hey, you think your guy's safe because he has a 4-up invuln? Okay, cool. Nope. And then you pop the mortal wounding stratagem, and like it's pretty much over. It's pretty much over. And the fact that, again, this is like it surprised me. It did surprise me, the fact that the World Eater doctrine now is on the charge, or when you get charged, normally it was just you get +1 to your attacks. It's +1 strength and +1 to your attacks. So you are going to be hitting a lot harder more often. Lord Invocatus, I would say I'll say 8 out of 10. I feel like if there was more options for the Chaos Lord on Juggernaut, I would probably rate it more. But for the Lord Invocatus model itself, like if you paint him up as him and build him as him, model is fantastic, 9 out of 10. Now we're going to be going over, I would say it's going to be the second most common pick when it comes to World Eaters, is going to be the Jackals, our dedicated cultist unit. Where, I mean, they're not as cheap as normal cultists, but in terms of what else you can bring as troops, because literally the only two options we have for troops is going to be these guys and the Berserkers. So I heard they're pretty good in melee. Like, they're not the best, but like they can do some work in. Where since we lost Legionnaires, I'm probably just gonna have like a few of these just to hold in like the deployment zone objectives and to screen out deep striking from my end of the board. So, but hey, again, like they got, the Skullmaster, they got good melee options, but just for how squishy they still are, because again, they're just toughness 3, like I'm probably just still going to be running a lot of Berserkers over these guys and just taking them to save a few points here and there to bring some heavier hitting stuff. I would say I give the Jackals 10 out of 10, just mainly for the fact that they have so many cool chaos like Khorne icons that I love. Again, I love bits. I love anything that I can get to make other things look exactly how I want them. Like, the more bits, the better. And the Jackals they have quite a bit. So even if you're not a big fan of them, I understand if you don't take them over, let's say more Berserkers. I would say they are a solid choice. So you could just don't worry about like them putting in a Terminator squad or some other big heavy hitting unit in your deployment zone as you're pushing forward towards the enemy. Other than that, it's price still ridiculous. Like, and I know prices are only going to get worse as time goes on because they just announced they're doing another price increase. Yeah, after the one they did last year. But Games Workshop is going to be Games Workshop. What can you do? Now, the question I want to ask you guys. So I'm looking at stuff I can convert. And I bought way too many vehicles when I was playing Iron Hands. Vehicles I haven't even built yet. Now, would you guys like to see me convert a Gladiator tank that I have, just, again, still in the box, still in the sprues? I'm thinking of converting that into a land raider. Just, transport for the 8-bound and just a nice gun platform because we have very little ranged options in terms of infantry. So I'll at least have I like a gun platform that can also transport the bigger guys. So again, just let me know what you think. Do you think I should do it, or would you like to see some other conversions? I was thinking about maybe trying to make a new Karn because unfortunately we didn't get a new sculpt. And yeah, it's, again, I want to hear your thoughts on what you want to see. There's so many opportunities in terms of with these new sculpts and what I can do, and I would love to hear what you guys would like to see. But yeah, other than that, I appreciate you guys for checking out this video, and stay tuned for more world eaters. If you like this video, remember to like, share, subscribe, the whole shebang, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.